In the heart of Bihar, on the northern bank of the Ganga, lies a district that India once called Mini Moscow. This is Begusarai. For decades, it was the reddest patch of land in the Hindi heartland, where the hammer and sickle flew over the paddy fields. And one small village earned the name Little Leningrad. But Begusarai is far more than its politics. It is the industrial capital of Bihar, built around one of the state's first great oil refineries. It cradles Asia's largest oxbow lake, and it gave India one of its most beloved national poets. This is everything you should know about Begusarai. Begusarai sits in the north-central part of Bihar, on the northern bank of the river Ganga, about 130 kilometers east of the state capital, Patna. It belongs to the Munger division. The land here is classic Gangetic plain, flat, fertile, and astonishingly green, ribboned with wetlands and oxbow lakes left behind by the wandering river. The district covers about 1,918 square kilometers, and at the 2011 census, it was home to nearly 30 lakh people. Its great gateway is Barauni Junction, one of the busiest railway hubs in the region, linking the district to the rest of the country. For a place so closely tied to industry, much of Begusarai is still a landscape of green fields, slow rivers, and wide open sky. For most of its history, this land was part of the old Munger district. Begusarai became a district in its own right on the 2nd of October 1972. Today, it is organized into several subdivisions and 18 development blocks, with its headquarters at Begusarai town. A short distance away lies Barauni, the industrial township whose refinery and railway yard made the district famous. And then there is Ghat, on the banks of the Ganga, an ordinary-looking village that would one day be nicknamed Mini Moscow. The name Begusarai itself is said to come from Begum and Sarai, a resting house built for a Mughal queen who loved to visit the great lake nearby. Begusarai's story is really the story of an idea. In the years after independence, while most of Bihar remained locked in old feudal hierarchies, a young leader named Chandrasekhar Singh brought a different vision to these fields: communism. He and the Communist Party of India led the landless against the big landlords, redistributing thousands of acres and giving farm workers something they had never had: land and dignity. The movement took such deep root that Begusarai came to be called the Leningrad of Bihar, and Chandrasekhar Singh's own village, Ghat, was nicknamed Mini Moscow. In 1962, he became one of the first communist legislators in the entire Hindi-speaking heartland. For decades, the red flag was a genuine power here, a rare thing in northern India, and the reason this quiet farming district earned a name borrowed from the Soviet Union. If politics gave Begusarai its nickname, industry gave it its wealth. In 1964, with help from the Soviet Union, India built the Barauni oil refinery here, one of the country's earliest. It still runs today, refining around 6 million tons of crude every year, with a major expansion underway. Around it grew a thermal power station and a giant fertilizer plant, turning Begusarai into the industrial capital of Bihar. But step beyond the smokestacks, and you find another economy entirely. This is one of Bihar's great maize bowls, its fields golden with corn, and a major center for dairy. In the wetlands, thousands still earn their living from fishing. Refinery and rice field, power plant and paddy, they sit side by side here. Culturally, Begusarai is deeply Bihari and deeply rooted in the Ganga. The greatest festival is Chhath, when families gather at the river banks at dawn and dusk to offer prayers to the setting and rising sun, one of the most moving sights in all of India. At Simaria, the river draws pilgrims for a month-long spiritual retreat, the Kalpvas. Everyday food is hearty and unmistakably Bihari. Litti chokha, the roasted wheat balls served with mashed vegetables, alongside fresh river fish and the district's famous dairy. Hindi is the language of daily life, carrying within it the warm flavors of the region's older tongues. For its size, Begusarai has given India some remarkable names: The greatest is Ramdhari Singh Dinkar, born in the village of Simaria, a poet whose thundering verse earned him the title Rashtrakavi, the national poet, and a place among the most quoted writers in the Hindi language. From its political soil came Chandrasekhar Singh, the leader who turned these fields red. And in recent years, the district has remained a fierce political battleground, sending loud, combative young voices onto the national stage. Begusarai, it seems, has never been a quiet place. For visitors, Begusarai's crown jewel is Kanwar Lake, known locally as Kabartal. It is one of the largest freshwater oxbow lakes in Asia, and in 2020, it became the first Ramsar wetland site in all of Bihar. In winter, it fills with tens of thousands of migratory birds flying in from as far as Central Asia. On an island within the wetland stands the ancient Jaimangla Gadh temple, reached across the water. At Simaria Ghat, pilgrims bathe in the Ganga at the very spot where Dinkar was born. And for those who love faded grandeur, there is the Naulakha Palace, a crumbling aristocratic mansion that recalls an older princely Bihar. Red flags and oil refineries, a poet's birthplace, and a lake full of birds. That, in short, is Begusarai, an ordinary-looking stretch of the Gangetic Plain that became the most extraordinary political and industrial story in Bihar. If you enjoyed this journey, subscribe and tell us in the comments, which district should we explore next?